We've got Josh Mackay in with us today, sitting in, so he's going to do the first half, and then we've got Fetu Kamal Douglas. He's going to come in for the second half. Great to have some expertise in with us today. Perfect day here in Hanmer. Looking, our referees, he brought up his 100th the other day. James Munro brought up his 100th in his club. Good to see the Canterbury coach coming down as he makes his way. He's going to watch the game from inside the dead ball. Looks like he wants to watch the game end on. Also, Carl Johnson, Will Todd, and don't forget Lyndon McKendry make up the referee for today. Big congratulations to James on bringing up his 100th premiership game of rugby the other day, senior rugby. Taken him a few years, but good. He started at school, would you believe it, Josh? Fantastic to see someone at that level decide, as a secondary school kid, he was at St Andrews at the time, and he decided that was his way of staying connected to the game, so he took up the whistle.
Yeah, it's awesome. Obviously, if there's no referee, you can't play, so it's good to see someone with that passion from a young age.
And here they come, Luke Whitelock leading out the Canterbury team for the first time in 2019. This pre-season game against Tasman, so get ready for what will be a massive Mitre 10 Cup campaign. The boys just unable to do it an extra time this time last year against Auckland. Bit of pain, no doubt, floating around the squad. Is that been talked about? We've only been in camp for a week or so, but has it been talked about at all, Josh?
No, we haven't touched on it. It sort of still burns away at the players deep down, so certainly a bit of redemption on the cards, but it hasn't been touched on yet. But yeah, certainly that fire's burning. Yeah,
the Cantabrians, good, interesting jersey makeup there too. A lot of red with a white collar this year, and the white band. Is that a jersey that's going to stick around, or is that for this pre-season only?
I'd say it'll probably stick around. Yeah, it's a good jersey, so they might as well sort of hold on to it for a couple of seasons.
Excellent, and good to see a couple of young teams out early from Hiranui, playing a curtain raiser. Great to see a good club like that turning out. There's a couple of boys in your team this year, actually, Ben Fennell and Luke Romano. They're both Hiranui boys, so good to see the country clubs being represented.
Yeah, grassroots is really strong out here in North Canterbury, and there was some pretty sharp skills on display from some of them weed tackers out there earlier.
Yeah, good luck to Glenmark Cheviot and also to Kaiapoi too. Glenmark Cheviot been the form team all year in that senior North Canterbury club competition. Kaiapoi, they haven't had it, so I think since about 2011, I think it was. So interesting for them. Good luck to them, and obviously the Ellesmere comp as well. Darfield, 113 years they haven't had it for. They're taking on again, which is probably an informed team, Southbridge. But here we have it in their traditional blue and a bit of red there, the Tasman Marcos. From you, just as we mentioned, there's a few Crusader boys that are turning out this week, a very stacked Canterbury team, I would suggest, in comparison. We haven't seen many of the Super Rugby players come back for Tasman, so a lot of club guys getting a bit of a run.
Yeah, awesome to see those club fellas get a run, sort of be a wee bit higher level than what they used to. But I'm sure paired with a few other lads, they'll certainly put their best foot forward and do the job.
Good coaching outfit up at Tasman too this year, haven't they? Not that they haven't for other years, but Andrew Goodman's up there. He's had a good stint with the Crusaders this year too. Clark Dermody, Shane Christie going back there, and obviously Gary Gray Cornelius as well. So plenty of knowledge. And here we are underway. Brent Cameron with the kick-off for Canterbury, taken by Quinton Strange. Just outside the 22, Tasman with the pill in the first minute. What can they do with it? Canterbury on defence. This will be that time, Josh, that everyone's looking for their connections, isn't they? The first time that everything really comes under the first amount of test. And
yeah, they're certainly looking to attack. Haven't really looked for the kicking option yet.
Interesting, they're sort of playing a little bit downhill, you'd probably say too, so an opportunity to maybe put the ball on the toe at some stage, but keen to run it here at Tasman, and that's a great tackle there from Dunshea. Still working that blind side come Tasman. And kind of two off.
Yeah, they're definitely keen to run it here.
Canterbury defence standing up to it already. We're up to about the 10th play already. It's still prepared to run it. Not interested in putting the toe to it, Tasman, and getting out of their own half. They're going to run it out of their own half instead. Quick ball back inside. And an almost steal there from Canterbury. Tasman keep hold of it. Another phase, another ruck. Out through the backs. Levi Whainganuku. Gee, he's a big lad, isn't he? Be interesting to see how he goes. No doubt plenty of punters. Well, he did that for Christchurch this time last week and scored a try off it. Dunshea out wide again. Tasman with the ball. Back inside their own 22.
I'll look to clear here, I'd say.
And they clear the ball.
Yeah, just got us.
Apologies, I said it was Fergus. It was Dallas McLeod that did that big intercept last week for Christchurch, wouldn't it? And run away with the pill. And a bit of a slightly untidy line out, but that's Billy Harmon that's got his hands on the ball in the end. Canterbury on attack, 30-odd metres out.
Solid D there.
Beautiful defence from Tasman. Eddie Inari in at half. He clears it to Cameron. Cameron with a chip out wide.
Cross kick to Gilby. Keeps it in.
And another pass back in. Bateman can't get his hands to it. They'll be called for the knock on. About 10 out from the Tasman line. Interesting, quite phonetic, isn't it? Like obviously you thought things were going to be fast, no doubt, in this first bit. You've got a firm pitch here in Hanmer. The weather's good, everything looking good, but Tasman prepared to keep the ball at hand and make it stick. And then obviously Brett Cameron with a play early on. He wanted to get that ball out wide and see what Canterbury could do out wide and maybe stretch Tasman a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty good game for the spectator. It's a perfect day here. The ball will be dry. Obviously Tasman are looking to run it. Plenty of potent attackers in this Canterbury backline as well, so we should have a good entertaining game of footy today.
I can't.
Tasman with the feed, 3.5 minutes in. This will be the first test of both forward packs. Scrum down. Referee James Munro says we'll have that one again. A big thank you to all the sponsors up in Hanmer that have helped make this game come to life. Great to see so many young kids up and down the sideline. Certainly the town of Hanmer have come out. Beautiful day. A few of the Tasman resties arriving. Free kick given to Tasman there. As expected, isn't it? Second scrum of the game. Expect that. Tasman to put the boot to it and get out of their own 22. Line out just outside their own 22. It's a free kick. So Canterbury with, it's Sebastian Siataga with the throw. For Canterbury, the first one just slightly off target. What can he do with his second? Lotta with a takedown and it's crashed up at a second receiver. Inardi with the ball again. Dunshea with a mountain of work in his first 5 or 6 minutes. He's touched the ball half a dozen times already. Bateman with a, what am I going to do? He takes it into contact.
Out the bat. Dunshea with another carry. He'll carry all day. And carry.
Cameron with another one. Out through Harmon.
Got a space out here.
Cullen Grace out on the wing, the right wing. The Lucy hanging out on the right wing for Canterbury there. And it's been lost forward. Tasman with another scrum. Well, you'd be puffed if you were out there, wouldn't you?
Yeah, she's certainly pretty hard and fast out there.
Just enough, as I say, we just saw a couple of the Tasman's Crusader guys and Super Rugby players. A couple of the boys just arriving. They've, by the sounds of it, got another couple of days off before they come into camp. So we're not seeing as many of those Super Rugby players turning out for Tasman this time. You've been into camp for a week now,
Yeah,
Josh?
yeah. We came together as a full squad on Wednesday, but a few of us boys we've been back a couple of weeks now. Obviously, we sort of finished up our super season a wee bit earlier than some of the others, so we're pretty eager to get back into it.
Too eager, you might say.
Yeah,
with a wee tweak of the calf.
Yeah, you could say that.
Just with another scrum reset. Referee James Munro having a chat to both front rows, telling him what he wants of them. Let's get this sorted out at the start, he says, and we can have a great game of running rugby. He's gone down again. He's given a penalty this time. Free kick the first time. Says we'll give these boys a penalty the second time. Bit of a soft one there for Tasman to work their way out of their own line, really, wasn't it? Bit of a shame that.
Yeah, bit of a let off there.
The big hoof down. About 30 odd yards out. Now, the only difference is this time, without being a free kick, with it being a penalty, Tasman get the ball again and see what they can do with it from their line out down the back.
Tasman playing with a wee tail breeze as well.
Quentin Strange knows what to do with the ball at the back, the line out, didn't he? Tasman just holding it in there. There's a big scrap in there for ball taking the ground.
Up it goes. Good take from Gilby.
Beautiful take there from Sam Gill. Kept his eye on it the whole time. Plenty of hang time. Anati with the ball. Skips out Dunshay. Goes to have a grab and can't get it. Poihipi with might have been his first touch. Cameron out to Bateman. Bateman, here he goes. He slides on through. That's too easy. Has he got support? Outside, inside, back again to Eddie Inari. And he'll slide in for the first try of the game. My oh my, that was just a little bit too easy for Tim Bateman to slip through that hole on Tasman there.
Yeah, great support play there as well. Seeing Gilbert from the outside and then Eddie, as every good halfback does, trucking up the middle of the field there.
Yeah, great work from Sam Gilbert to have obviously taken that early on, wasn't it? The ball certainly hung up for a long, long time. He got it, got back to his feet, got back out.
Yeah, great take. Back onto his wing, hold that width, stretch that D.
Let's see what Brett Cameron can do from the tee. About 10 yards out from the right-hand upright. That'll be 15. And he is no trouble whatsoever. So Canterbury take the lead, 7-0. A good start by Canterbury. They've only had the ball a couple of times and made 2 breaks already, so it'll be a little bit worrying from a Tasman defence perspective, I suppose. But that's what these pre-season games are for, isn't it? To work out where the holes are and how to tighten things up.
Iron out a few creases.
Tasman to get us back underway. Tim Bateman take that. Who's he got?
Cullen Grace on the inside. Ooh.
Knocked on by Tasman there. Cullen Grace just couldn't quite get his hands to it, but Tasman with the next knock on. This might be the first actual feed for Canterbury at scrum, so it'll be interesting to see what they can do with it. A couple of boys coming back that have been away with the under-20s too, haven't they? And
yeah.
Coming back into club, a couple of weeks of club, and then right into the thick of things here for Canterbury. So about 7 or 8 metres inside Canterbury 22. Be interesting to see what sort of play they're going to play from here. Are they going to work their way up, or are they going to get rid of it and try and play rugby back inside Tasman's half?
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what happens here, especially sort of into that wee breeze there. Ball could hold up a wee bit.
It's sort of not showing much down at the ground, does it? But you look at the tops of the trees around here, a few silver birches that are, it's got a wee breeze at the top there, and obviously we talked about beautiful pitch here at the Hanmer Domain, but it does slope down a wee bit into that bottom corner, which is Tasman have the opportunity to run slightly downhill, so Canterbury working their way out a little bit of that. Won't make a great deal of difference, but the ball will no doubt hold up too, won't it? It won't. Canterbury get the penalty this time. Ryan Coxon there for Tasman, called for pulling the scrum down. Cameron puts his big right hoof to it.
Kick that.
On the halfway. It's a good way of working yourself out of trouble, isn't it?
Yeah, can't complain with that at all.
Siataga with the throw, can't find Luke Whitelock. Tasman's got it, hot on attack. Spin the ball wide. It's Tuli Pai out there crashing up just inside the Canterbury half, and here come Tasman. What can they do with the pill? Will continue to work it to their right. Good defence. Sebastian Siataga, good tackle. He can't quite roll away, and he's going to be called for a penalty. Tasman with the advantage. And I think referee James Munro says we'll come back to there. Sebastian Siataga with a good tackle initially, but he just couldn't work himself out of there, could he, Josh?
Just sort of got trapped in the bottom of that ruck.
Tasman now with the opportunity to work their way into this bottom corner. That's Tim O'Malley. He'll step up and say, I'll have that, thank you.
Tasman certainly here to play. Running a lot, which is good to see.
Yeah, wind at their back a little bit. You thought potentially they could have stepped up for... they're just inside the Canterbury half. They might have had a kick, but instead he says, actually, let's work our way down there, be hot on attack, and let's put Canterbury under the pump.
Yeah, certainly they're looking for tries.
Canterbury's defence has held up all right so far, though. This is probably the first real time that they've been under the pump properly, with Tasman with the opportunity to have the ball. 15 minutes into this first pre-season game here at the Hanmer Domain. Canterbury forwards working Tasman backwards. Tasman still have it. They'll reset and go again. A couple of big props for Canterbury.
Big lot of counter-racking going on there.
James Munro, the referee, with the arm out for advantage though. Doesn't quite like what he sees. Nice low tackle there from Canterbury again. Ball still available for Tasman.
Dunshea just bearing his head.
Oh, and Billy Harmon takes that, but will come back for the penalty. What can they do? Will they take the 3? Or are they going to put Canterbury? It looks like they're going to have a kick for the line.
Yeah, straight into the corner.
Tim O'Malley says, I'll put it 5 out from the Canterbury line, and then we'll put them back under pressure. What do you do at this point, Josh? You're standing in the back line, you know that you think the heat's about to come on, your forwards have got to do a job. What are you talking to your backs about?
Oh, just barking at them if the ball comes out and they try and fling it wide, just making sure that we all know who we've got. So then if the forwards do a job, we try to do a job for them.
Taina Fox Matamua with the pill, brings it down from the line out. Tasman hot on attack just outside Canterbury goal line. What can Tasman come up with? They're looking for numbers, and referees James Munro's got another advantage. I think he might want to have a bit of a chat. It's that 3 penalties in a row.
Yeah.
That's usually when the ref comes to you, isn't it?
Yeah, discipline's certainly an issue early on here. So boys in red and black will look to rectify that.
Luke Whitelock, the captain for Canterbury, no doubt turning around to his troops and having a wee chat, saying, come on, boys. Tasman not interested in the scrum. A perfect opportunity, not a bad spot on the park to maybe have a scrum and then let these Tasman backs go, but instead they're going to have a line out.
They're back in that mould.
Hugh Roach with the throw for Tasman. Yeah, to Quinton Strange. No, they don't. It's Yahiwaru, known as T in the Tasman team. What can Tasman do with it? At the back with the halfback, it's Ben Fina. Canterbury have managed to get it to the ground. Canterbury have done extremely well. Well, we talked about their defence so far, and it's been immense, really, isn't it? Like that's absolutely one positive to come out of, other than being up on the scoreboard. Canterbury's defence doing a really good job so far on Tasman.
Yeah, under the pump those last few minutes there and soaked up that pressure really well. Now they've ended up with the ball.
We've had a couple of messy scrums, so that's probably not your department too, is it, George?
No, don't really know what's going on in the old front row, the front row department.
You wonder what's going on there at sometimes, but another scrum. We'll see if we can get a clean one.
James Monroe certainly coming in with a no-nonsense approach. If you're going down, you're going to get penalised, which is good to see from a back's point of view. The last thing we want to do is be watching scrum resets all day.
Probably not a bad day to watch a scrum reset, isn't it? A beautiful day here in Hanmer Springs. Oh, and he's given a free kick again. I think that was Ryan Coxon over that far side. We've nearly had 20 minutes and we can't get a scrum right yet, so we'll see. Brett Cameron says, I'll get us out of trouble.
Trusty right boot.
There's only a free kick though, so it'll be Tasman's pill. Canterbury lead 7-0. Try to Irianari after about 7 or 8 minutes, converted by Brett Cameron. Tasman with the line out feed. It's Hugh Roach. Who can he find? Quinton Strange at the back there for Tasman. Tasman on attack.
A lot of line speed there from Canterbury.
You'd expect a good line speed from someone like Tim Bateman out the back, and that's a great tackle again. Gang tackled there.
Cullen Grace with a solid shoulder.
Tasman take it wide. What can they do with it? And he's broken one tackle through a second. About 15 inside the Canterbury half. Another tackle. Yeah, Canterbury forced into plenty of defence in this first 20 odd minutes. Very static though there from Tasman. Harry Allen with the tackle that needed to be made there.
Solid D continues.
Jamie Spalt with his possible first touch of the ball for Tasman.
Billy Harmon strong over the ball.
Good number 7 play, wouldn't it? You've seen him do that a few times this year, both for the Crusaders and a number of times for New Brighton as well.
Yeah, if he gets over that ball, very hard to move.
Interesting to see around that 7 position again. He's going to bounce out.
Got there in the end.
Got there in the end. Interesting to see if Matt Todd doesn't make the All Blacks later on this year. Will we see him back for Canterbury before he decides? He said that he's not playing for the Crusaders next year, but I don't know if he's actually told anybody what he's up to next year, so we won't spoil it. Find out what he's up to, and that's against the throw, so Canterbury will want to tidy that up, although they've got it back again. Anadi. Harmon running onto the pill. Have they turned him? Tasman have turned him. And they get the penalty for it.
Tap and go. He's tapped it.
He has tapped it.
Off the mark.
Referee James Munro says, come back here, we'll have it again. Tim O'Malley will
look to send it long.
You got your catching mitts out. That might come right out to us.
Oh,
it's coming. Ball boys decide not to take it on the full, so they don't get a Heller's sausage pack or whatever it is when you catch it on the full. Tasman with the ball just inside the line-out throw, just inside Canterbury half. 7-0 to Canterbury. 18 minutes left in the first half. It's a pretty warm day actually for a winter's day. Pitch in great condition here at the Hanmer Domain. And Big T gets up and takes the big. And another big Taina Fox Matamua with a big crash up for Tasman as they work it away to the left.
A solid day continues from the red and black wall.
And away out left. Sam Gilbert with a great tackle, and as they come back to the right for Tasman. There it is for Tasman again. Not sure what to do with it. Here comes Levi.
Big man.
Whainganuka with a great run there for Tasman. And they come way right. Here they come. Who's he got? Irianari with the tackle round the bootlaces, and Tasman make their way closer and closer to the Canterbury line.
Oh, Whitelock.
Whitelock with a fantastic
human
tackle. Canterbury defence have been up to it in the first 20 minutes. Can they hold out and they way to the left?
Lines them up. Makes it.
Gee, that experience of a guy like Tim Bateman, although James Munro, has he got his arm out? He has two right in front. It's called for another one. A touchy has called it. Tim Bateman offside. Well, we said it was coming, didn't we?
Here's that chat.
James Munro says, hey Canterbury, you've been down here a few times and you keep giving away cheap penalties.
Yeah, he'll give the message to Big Whitelock, who will relay it to the troops.
He said you had one penalty over here and you had one penalty there. Now you've just had one of those. Tim Bateman, he's been around long enough. He should know better. How good is it to have a guy like that back though? Like we watched him. We didn't see a great deal of him in the Crusaders campaign from a playing perspective, and unfortunately missed out on that final. But my word, from a camp perspective, we got Fedu Douglas is going to join us in the second half. He's probably a perfect person to talk about what Tim Bateman brings to a campaign.
Yeah, certainly invaluable. As we all know, you can't buy experience, and experience is what Timmy B has a lot of. And he'll be massive for a lot of young boys in the squad as well, on and off field. Yeah,
we haven't seen a lot of Raimeka Poi Hepi, so he'll be fantastic to have a guy like Tim Bateman outside calling the shot. No doubt he drives that back line a bit out too on D, but just getting himself called offside in that last play. So here come Tasman. What can they do with the ball? Held at the back. It's Hugh Roach that has got it. Typical hooker stance. It's down on the ground. They'll look to recycle and go again round the blind side. James Munro, referee, says they've got the try. Tasman
chocolates
down and dirty. Who is that? Hugh Roach gets the pad on the back for the first one, but it's not him.
Sione Havili. Is it the 6?
Standing there at the back before he goes again. Hard to see a number, but Sione Havili was certainly the one that was getting the pats, wasn't it? Hugh Roach given that try. I think they might be a shout back the other way tonight, but great move. And as we talked about quite a lot there, Josh, to say that Canterbury have been on their haunches for a little bit, when could they hold their defence out, or how long could they hold the defence out? They did for a while, but 22, 23 minutes in, Tasman get across.
Yeah, Tasman certainly persisted with that maul, and probably after 4 or 5 attempts they got there in the end.
Tim O'Malley for Tasman looking to add the extra 2, make it a tied up ball game. Good crowd in here at the Hanmer Domain. No doubt a few Tasman supporters have come down to watch. Look to a beautiful wide, showing the hills in the background, and O'Malley unable to convert that. So the score remains 7 points to 5. Canterbury lead by 2. Referee James Munro just having a wee word to first 5 Brett Cameron there. Not sure what that was about, but Cameron kicks off. Quinton Strange says, I'll have that for Tasman. Tasman with the ball again. Will they kick out of...
Yeah, they're looking to exit here off 9 by the looks.
Fergus Burke for Canterbury waits for it, and that ball's up high. Fergus Burke,
high.
the sprint under
Well
it, and a nice take. Tasman over the pill, but here comes Anati, spins it wide, and poor Hippie can't get his mitts to it. Cullen Grace with a clean up for Canterbury.
Ref's called that knock back, so play on.
Anari looking at Jaeger. Who else is there? Loader driven back, and a great tackle from Tasman. Harman now. He's standing in the tackle, waiting for Inigo Siataga. Looking for support. Anari determined to continue to work that. And they go wide. Oh, look who it is. Is that Dunshea out wide again?
Geez, it's good to see Dunshea up the wide channel.
Harry Allen. Saw him score a great try for Sydenham the other week. Running like an outside back. Anari with the pill again. Cameron. Whitelock again.
Up the guts.
Canterbury in the middle of the park. What can they do with it? Anari thinks go. No. Ratuvo. Looking for support. James Munro says we'll go back for the penalty. What can Canterbury conjure up now? Tasman offside. Cameron looking towards the line.
Put it in the corner.
12 minutes left in this first half. Canterbury lead 7 points to 5 in this first pre-season game. We stoppage and play. Whenever we pause of the clock there for a little bit. That's the Ryan Cox in the prop for Tasman. No doubt a bit stiff, even played for a few weeks. No doubt bit of the old magic water might come out, Josh.
Yeah, sure there'll be a bit of that going on out there at the moment.
Interesting to see. We haven't seen a lot of Canterbury on a real predetermined attack so far, haven't we? We've seen them come out of, work it out of their own half. We've seen them obviously score a try, which turned the defence on to attack, as we're now looking at Billy Harman. The big crash up, he stands in that tackle, and Sebastian Siataga rips it off him and whips through a wee hole. He's had a good club season too, Sebastian. Canterbury on attack now. We'll head down, back to match play. Hey, how good is that ball from Eddie Anari as well, that wide ball when he chooses to... Canterbury with the maul still going. Anari at the back there, he's barking for it, but the Canterbury forwards rejoin the maul. Keep going. James Munro, referee James Munro's got his arm out. What can Canterbury do with it? Anari crashing up. Too wide. Skips out Cullen Grace. Anari going back to the blind. Who's that? About to blow the whistle for the penalty.
Cross kick.
Anari. Cameron puts a boot to it.
Gilby. Oh, Sam Gilbert. Great take. Great take.
Really safe to say they've run that line a few times at trainings, Josh.
Yeah, certainly. Practice makes perfect there.
They had the penalty. They decided to run the play. Cameron called for it. They were about to go back to the blind side. Cameron called for it, said, give it to me. Puts that trusty right boot to it. And Sam Gilbert gets up off the carpet, puts a couple of mitts to it, and touches down.
Lincoln Uni combo.
Look at that. Beautiful play. Good luck to Lincoln and also to High School Old Boys in the Hawkins Metro Premier Final tomorrow. Be an interesting game. Can Lincoln get up? Well, they're about 5 in a row.
Yeah, this will be a 5-peat for the Rams.
Old Boys had a great season actually. Went through top 6 as well. Got a bit of silverware, the DCL locked away as well. Some great competition this year actually, club rugby in Christchurch. Marist Albion got the shield off, beat Lincoln early in the season. Christchurch possibly not as strong as we've seen them in the past, a few injuries and whatnot. And Cameron there, sails over.
Adds the extras.
Beautiful kick to set up Sammy Gilbert out for the try, and then adds the extra 2. Canterbury now lead 14 points to 5. Underway again from Tim O'Malley, Tasman.
Taken safely by Bateman.
He's a safe pair of hands, isn't he? Vadavar over the top.
High tackle there on Bateman. He's looking a bit sore.
A new player out there for Canterbury with no number. Has he come on for Eddie Inari?
Yeah, Jarvis is out there for Eddie, out of Belfast Club, Christchurch.
Talked about a number of halfbacks this year actually coming out of club rugby. Good one at New Brighton too this year. Sia Tugger with a line out throw. Whitelock with the call, and they'll go back to Dunshea. Gee, he's been immense in this first 30 odd minutes.
He's into everything.
Held at the back with Sia Tugger. New halfback on for Canterbury. Knock on there by Tasman. Canterbury with a scrum feed. So I said to Eddie Inari, gee, he's been good in that first 30 odd minutes too, with those couple of bullet passes out wide, hitting Dunshea, and obviously the call there before. Brett Cameron, he wanted the ball to go back to the open side to put that kick in and score for Sam Gilbert, but he's now been replaced by Jarvis Wallace. Good to see him step up into this grade.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be fizzing to get amongst it. And yeah, certainly great 30 from Eddie. Definitely steadies the ship, and tremendous on D.
We've only had, say, a week together, and some of the guys didn't come until Wednesday. What can you expect in a quick turnaround like that, Josh?
Certainly a pretty simple game plan. You know, you don't have a full week or a full month of pre-season to sort of get everything sorted. You've got to rush through a couple of things, but I mean, all the boys out there are good footy players, so they'll play off instincts more than anything.
Get some of those connections working.
Yeah.
Plenty of chat going on in the background. Poor Hippie says to Cameron, we'll try something a little bit different. We want something different for our boys out wide. But first, it's up to the Canterbury forwards to set the platform. Jarvis Wallace with the feet. What can Canterbury do? Can we have a nice clean scrum? The answer is no. Well, I suppose you expect a little bit of that at the start of the season when everyone's coming together, but we're going to have to tidy some of that up, aren't they? Brett Cameron.
Great kick. 5 metre line out.
Drives Tasman back inside. Right up hard against their goal line. They're on the 5. Canterbury with the feed. It was a penalty. Not a free kick. So Canterbury with the feed. Sia Tugger. Who can he hit? Does he go to Dunshea? Does he go to Whitelock? Oh, well, he's got some options, didn't he? Canterbury trying to roll that maul around to the side. Get a blindside, but there's no winger there, so they're not opening it up for that. Still on the 5 metre mark. Jarvis Wallace going in to dig it out. This is what will Canterbury do now?
Now it's Tasman's turn for a wee talk, is it?
It's Quentin Strange on his knees in the middle of that ruck, still holding on. Showing all of his experience when he's covered in bodies. Cameron says we'll go to the line out again. We've got to move. Have we got a fancy move, or have we got another line out drive?
I wouldn't know, that's not my department. I'm guessing we'll see another line out drive.
Lauder again. Sia Tugger has it at the back. What can they do? They've only got half the players at this point. The maul breaking up a little bit. Tasman doing a good job to disrupt it. Canterbury still have the pill. Wallace goes in and digs it out. Can he get it out?
Another penalty.
James Munro, referee James Munro will get sick of this, won't he? Cameron with another kick to the line.
Certainly persisting with that driving maul.
Canterbury got something else up their sleeve. Have they been together long enough to come up with a move? Lauder with the headgear. No, they go down the back to Dunshea, and it's been tapped forward, knocked back. Canterbury still with the pill. Harmon charges up. He's 2 out from the line. Here goes Tugger. We pick and go. Who will be next? Cullen Grace. He says, I'll have a go. Wallace now calls for the ball and they go to the blind. Harmon again. 15 in from the left-hand touchline. They come infield. Canterbury still with the pill, and it's been turned over. Held it in the tackle, not released.
Yeah, Tasman have done well there. They've given away a few penalties, absorbed a lot of pressure, and managed to win a penalty for themselves.
Josh Lauder with the last carry, unable to get it back for his boys. So Tasman, now Tim O'Malley with the chance to kick out of trouble.
Not out here.
Not out. Cameron with the ball, slides it back into Wallace. Here comes Fergus Burke, and he's tackled in a good tackle by Tim O'Malley. Jarvis Wallace comes to the blind. Ratuvo, we haven't seen much of him in open space, but my word, can he go when he gets it? Canterbury over the ball. A lot of hands in that ruck. Tasman have turned it over. Somehow don't know how, but they have. And then they drop it. Canterbury now, 2 minutes 30 to go in this first half of the first pre-season here at Hanmer Domain. I guess if you were a Canterbury coach, you'd be happy enough with what you've seen so far. So not a lot of structured attacking opportunities.
It's been a wee bit stop-start, but I guess a pre-season game is never going to be real fluid. But yeah, all in all, not a bad first 40 for the men in black, red and black rather.
Canterbury lead 14 points to 5. 2 minutes left on the clock in this first half. What's Cameron and co got cooked up this time? First real opportunity actually. Can they get the scrum to stick? Put it in, he says.
Might be the first scrum.
First actual scrum, I think, in 38 minutes that's been played. Poihepi comes in as first receiver.
Solid carry.
Cameron with the second phase play out to Fergus Burke's in the line.
D there from Tima Whanganuku.
They come back to the left. Plenty of forwards in that line.
Good catch there from Lauder. Oh, and the offload to Harmon.
Harmon around the outside. It's laid up there for Cameron again.
Dunshea,
he gives it to Dunshea. Bateman will go in and play halfback now, and Wallace arrives. Here comes Whitelock with a crash up. As you can imagine, Ford's just slowing down a bit. Poihepi out to Rudova. And Harmon still hanging on that wing with a wee kick.
He's grabbing it dead by the looks.
It's a big lead foot. Toes it through and over the dead ball line. He might have stepped out, has he? No, he's still in. We'll have another scrum. 14 seconds left on the clock, so this will be the last play of the first half. Josh Mackay, have you enjoyed it? What have you made of this first half?
Yeah, certainly been a bit stop and start. There's been plenty of scrums and line-outs. But yeah, hopefully we can see a bit more running footy in the second half.
Good to have you in commentary, a position I'm sure you don't want to make too much of a habit of. You'd rather be out there on the paddock.
Yeah, first time giving this commentary gig a bit of a go. Yeah, I've actually enjoyed it. Probably struggled a bit. Hopefully haven't been too boring for the viewers.
It's a bit different watching it from here in here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Tasman with the feed. Time up on the clock in the first half. What will they do with it? And the penalty goes to Canterbury. Ryan Coxon called for another penalty. Didn't get his bind right.
Assist with the corner.
Canterbury's going to have one last shot. Trying to get another 7-pointer for the end of the first half. Yeah, another scrum reset. Here we go with the line out. What can Canterbury do this time? Throw from Seataga. They find Whitelock. He gets sacked. Ball's up at the back with Seataga. Tasman coming round the side.
Still alive here.
Here we go. Jarvis Wallace, the halfback, gets handed the ball a metre out from the line. He can't quite make it. Harmon at the back there. Jaeger picks. He's got his hands on the ball. What can he do? Canterbury searching for another try. Here comes Jaeger again. He's over the line. He's been held up. James Monroe says that'll do it for the first half. 14 points to 5. Canterbury lead the Tasman Marcos. His first pre-season game here at the Hanmer Domain. Fantastic having you in commentary. Thank you very much, Josh.
Cheers, good to be here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my commentary. And as I said before, hopefully it didn't bore you too much.
Great to have you here. We're back in a few minutes here at the Hanmer Domain, and we'll get ready for our second half of this pre-season game between Canterbury and the Tasman Marcos.
You'll really love the feeling of a flooring extra floor. So come and get that feeling today.
Thank you very much for that. Welcome to Hanmer. If you're just joining us on the Canterbury Rugby Facebook live stream of this first game, we've got a change in commentary. Fetu Douglas joins us now.
G'day.
Takes over from Josh Mackay. We'll get some bit of forward chat now.
Yeah, well, it's definitely been a game. It's been a good match between the two. Some good forward play at the end there. A couple of mauls from the Canterbury boys. Yeah,
perfect opportunity. We've had a couple of messy scrums though, haven't we? That's probably been the real talking point of this first half.
Yeah, I've been standing with Mike Alator. He's talked about the new scrum rules, and I think it might be getting a balance in that new rule. You know, it's the first hit out for some of the front row.
So it's a case now they're looking for no resting really, isn't it? So they want to see that gap between both front rows so that all of a sudden the locks can't just lean in and get that early advantage.
Yeah. Main difference is going to be a bigger gap, so thus we've seen a little bit more of the front row falling to the ground. So that's where the adjustment will be in training.
It's going to be interesting. It's a fine line, isn't it? Getting that gap just right, but getting enough of it that there is a gap there. Yeah. Perfect. Back underway here, the second half. Tim O'Malley about to kick off for the Tasman Marcos. 14 points to 5. Canterbury leads here at the Hanmer Domain. No doubt a couple of changes. We'll run you through those changes as we get into our work. Canterbury just outside their 22. Will they run an exit play? Not too much. They're going to charge up there. The 19, Caleb Aparihama. So the wee drop there instead. It's Leicester
Whainganuku.
It is indeed. You see those dreads a wee way away, don't you? Stands out. Fantastic player. So we saw him playing a bit of club actually here this year.
There's first change. Good tackle from Tom Christie out of Christchurch in club rugby.
Yeah, they'll no doubt miss him a little bit today. They're taking on Burnside for, I think, the plate final. Good luck to both of those teams. Tasman hot on attack again. The ball goes to the ground. Michael Stringer picks it up at fullback.
And here we go, another opportunity to look at another scrum adjustment. We'll see if they've talked about it at halftime. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. We might have to talk to Michael Alatoa in a minute if we can't get these scrums right. We might have to bring in a full expert to tell us what's going on in there.
Yeah, the big man enjoying a bit of a extended break. Be back next week.
Tom Christie on the side of the scrum in 7. The rest of the full pack looks pretty similar. Whitelock still at number 8. Cullen Grace still on the blind side. Interesting enough, we actually had Tom Christie initially named to start, but Billy Harmon coming on. Jarvis Wallace at halfback out of the Belfast club. Quick play.
Strike Junior Ratuva.
We've been waiting for that, haven't we? Canterbury inside the Tasman 22 now with Whitelock. A number of big numbers out there, 22s, 24s. So big changes in the back line for Canterbury. They go open side again. Punavai crashes up. Will they continue to work the blind or come back open? So a number of big numbers out this side. Whitelock again with the pill. A couple of good carries. Come back to Cullen Grace. 10 out. Ollie Jaeger over the top. Fergus Burke's up inside it. First receiver. Dallas McLeod's in there as well. And Tasman.
Great breakdown
Pretty good
work.
defence. And they make a
Quick go. He's away.
That's the halfback, Ben Finau. Is he going to go the whole way? It looks like he might. Ratuva brings him to the ground.
Good show of pace from Junior.
We wondered when we were going to see him with a great run, Junior Ratuva, but we had to do it in defence instead. Out wide for Tasman. What can they do
Great
with
cut
it?
out
Numbers.
Get
And Ryan Coxon gives up on Fat Man's track and goes and hangs out wide. Tasman with the try against the run of play too. But well done. Well done. Canterbury just unable to get themselves back on attack. It was the halfback, Ben Finau, with the break. The big lock. They call him T.
I think there's a change there. Number 22, Sam Briggs, and Tim O'Malley's moved out to 12. Good cut-out pass there.
O'Malley with the chance to add the extra 2.
Great turn of momentum. An opportunity from a good breakdown turnover. Quick tap. And Finau all the way, almost all the way to the line.
Tim O'Malley out wide with a chance to add the extra 2 to make it a 2-point ball game. 5 minutes into the second half here at the Hanmer Domain. Just a quick tap, just really caught everybody off guard, really, didn't he, Ben Finau?
Yeah, and you
And it's over.
Wouldn't really expect it from deep in that half. It's a good chance to, to punt the ball out, get some territory, and get a good attacking line out. But he's done outstanding there.
14 points to 12, 5 minutes gone in this second half. Tim O'Malley with a kick from wide out. Canterbury get us underway again. And Canterbury back on defence again. Nice, beautiful pass back inside.
Good momentum shift here.
Tasman take it wide. It's 22, Dallas McLeod with a big tackle. Tasman still out wide. Less defying Anuku inside the Canterbury 22. What can Tasman do with it?
Sam Briggs.
Want to knock on. No, it's gone the other way. He's got an arm out for a penalty, referee James Munro. What did he see in there and he didn't like? Right-to-do.
And he's going to bring that back.
He says we'll go back for the penalty. What's the call? Offside.
Now here they might take the opportunity to go to the corner.
Interesting, take the 3 and they could go in front, but if they play like they have in the first 40, they're going to kick it out, aren't they? They're going to put Canterbury under pressure. It's been a good option too, isn't it, while Canterbury bring on a number of players. Yeah, Canterbury just offside at the ruck there. But while Canterbury bring on a number of players and make a few changes and see what's happening, kind of catch them a little bit, not necessarily in disarray, but as they try and get themselves sorted again and get those combinations going. Tasman making the most of it.
Comes Finlay Christie into 9.
A new halfback on for Tasman.
No doubt there'll be a good change of pace.
He certainly wants to speed things up again, Finlay Christie, doesn't he? Tasman with a great line out. Play off the hooker inside to Tim O'Malley. Crashes up on the 15.
Great strike there. Good momentum. Canterbury done well to slow it down the breakdown.
Finlay Christie not interested in it. He's calling in forwards. He wants some runners. Here come Tasman, 5 yards out from the Canterbury line. Can they go ahead? Canterbury forced to defend. Oh, and misses. And a missed tackle. And
great carry through there.
One of the no-number Tasman players. Canterbury will be a little bit disappointed with that. They sort of break up a little bit. Christie slips off the tackle. Jaeger gets there as he crashes over for the line. Great try to Tasman. Bit of a surprise to the second half. Tasman take the lead.
The old discipline hurting the Canterbury boys, and Tasman doing well to benefit from them. Obviously with the quick tap earlier, they've gone to the corner here, had a good strike on first base, and it's carried on through.
They've just looked to speed it up, haven't they? They've gone up a notch or two, the Tasman side, catching as we talked about, while Canterbury try and get those connections back with the half a dozen changes they made at half time, and have kind of been caught napping a little bit. O'Malley from out wide, what can he do with it? He sprays it across the front of the uprights, so we'll stay at 17 points to 14 here at the Hanmer Domain. Tasman now in front. They lead Canterbury. How can Canterbury respond?
Will they kick it deep? Nope, they've gone the other side.
Oh, bit of indecision there, and
they've benefited from that.
Dallas McLeod with the take in the end.
Ball in hand.
Canterbury hot on attack, and Tom Christie's hit hard in the tackle. They're inside the Tasman 20. They go to the left. What's Jarvis Wallace going to do with it? That's 19. That's Caleb Uppity Palmer. Dallas McLeod just caught static there. Wasn't sure what to do with the ball. Lost forward by Canterbury. We'll go back. Tasman feed.
Just a little bit indecisive there with the running line, and then led on to the pass.
Peter Douglas in with us in the commentary team for the second half. Good to have some forward chat. In come a couple of no numbers. So Canterbury bringing on a few of the big boys. We're going to change. Luke Whitelock's gone off.
And Oliver Yaka has gone off. Siate Tokolahi was left out last year because of a knee injury, but making his return today in the Canterbury stripes.
Brody McAllister out there as well. We've got a new number 8 out there for Canterbury. Okay, with a big scrum. Tasman have it. They're going to work their way out of their own 20. Finlay Christie. Nice crisp pass, the first receiver. Here's Kershaw Sykes. Tasman called for holding on there. Canterbury will get the opportunity to respond. What will they do with this? I think it'll be fairly obvious. They'll play to the corner, won't they?
Yeah. In these preseason games, you look to get into your line out, get tucked into your work. Also then going for the 3 points. You sort of want to create connections in the forward pack and get the combos going.
So it looks like we've got Fergus Burke come into first 5. He played first 5 for University last week and did a fantastic job. Second 5 and 22 is Dallas McLeod, been away at the 22s. Down to 20s, sorry. Nani Punavai, we saw a little bit of him in a game or two for the Crusaders this year. And at centre.
Great tackle there.
Oh, Punavai throws the little pass, and here comes Lester Whainganuku. He's brought down by Burke. Punavai's dropped back. Finlay Christie when they would come to the left.
Definitely sped the game up from on the pitch.
Christie comes to the blind again. Whainganuku with a short pass to Levi Amur. Christie wants it again, out to the right. And there's a big prop out there. That's Ryan Coxon, the try scorer. The right wing with the dish. At that point, it's Jamie Spott. Tries to dish it out the back of the hand, and instead it comes free, gets knocked on.
He's been great this game. Spent the year at the Crusaders. Sort of, the unsung heroes who train week in, week out, but don't get their game time.
Here we go to Lester Whainganuku, just slips. They're looking for a bit of a support runner, couldn't find it. Instead, and jersey changed to Tasman there. Jersey 17 and 18, Sam Lane and Kershaw Sykes Martin on for Tasman. Ryan Coxon will say the try scorer, he'll get a rest. Brody McAllister says, actually, I'm not happy to go down on that one. We'll have a reset, please. We'll have another reset. Certainly been a talking point, and obviously, it's the first pre-season and we want to get these things right, but I would hope we can get these scrum sets right throughout the season.
Yeah, well, this is the time to sort them out. Obviously train it through the week, but to put it in a live situation, you learn a bit more.
A good scrum there, one of the best scrums of the game. Big drive comes on from Canterbury. Jarvis Wallace, who finds
Dallas McLeod.
Come into first 5. Gary. Here's second 5, Dallas McLeod. Here come Canterbury. What can they do? A big line up to the right. Big wide cutout pass.
Good defence from the Tassie boys working their way around the corner.
Tasman holding him up.
Slowing the breakdown down.
Yeah, some great play from Tasman. Canterbury haven't gone too far at all. Here they come.
Tasman boys got good alignment, good connections. Canterbury haven't.
And Tasman get the penalty. And tap and go. We talked about that. Finlay Christie says, let's go. Speed her up.
Jamie Spallwood.
Bit static. Tasman keeping the ball alive. Just inside their own half a metre inside their own half. They come away to the left again. A big wide cutout pass, and then Whainuka can't get his mitt to it. The ball will go over the touchline.
Oh, great. Was that Sam Briggs? Great vision there to see where the space was. Just unfortunate that pass didn't stick.
Pass was certainly on, and Canterbury were in trouble if it had a stuck. Canterbury with the line out. Skip out Christie.
Cullen Grace, good carry. He's had a great game getting into his work.
He's the new man on the field in the red headgear, purple headgear. Oh, 1-2 combo and the ball gets left behind. A knock on there by Canterbury. They're trying things, that's the good thing. I know that's what those coaches no doubt want to see from Canterbury. They're trying things. There's an opportunity there, a 1-2 we pass, one off the ruck.
Yeah, both teams been together for a week or two. Not everything's going to be perfect. New combos, getting used to each other. So it's a great way, to move forward, is to obviously play together. It's the best way to connect.
Tasman Marco, 17 points plays Canterbury 14. 22 minutes left in this second half here at Hanmer Domain. Beautiful day for running rugby. Great pitch. Done a fantastic job here at Hanmer Springs. Big thank you to Huranui Tourism and Hanmer Springs, to Hanmer Holiday Homes. We see Ray White, major sponsor and major partner of Canterbury Rugby this year.
And to the supporters who have come out. Some travel from Tasman or from Nelson, and many from Christchurch.
A good bus trip for the Tasman boys to get back again tonight, back to Nelson, and set up for what will be a big week for them, no doubt.
Yep, I've talked to Andrew Goodman before the game, and a lot of their Crusader guys, their Māori All Blacks, will be returning, or Crusader guys returning on Monday, and their Māori All Blacks returning for round one.
There's been a bit of a changing of the guard too in this team, and a few of those older guys that have been in that Tasman team are no longer available. It's a good opportunity for some of these young guys to come through and get a crack at this level.
Yeah, it's great. Although I saw Joe Wheeler has signed for this year. It'd be great to see him back for the Tasman Mako.
Here come Canterbury. Punavai with the wee chip over the top, and it will run into touch about 10 metres out from the Tasman line. Here comes Mitchell Drummond. Must be our third change at halfback. Jarvis Wallace, he's had a good 20-25 minutes the other. Eddie Inari with the first 20. Jarvis Wallace coming on for that middle 20 and doing a great job. He's done a good job for Belfast at club level this year. Been rewarded with a couple of cracks here today. Mitchell Drummond though, back into the action. Another title winning Crusader. He was your club captain last year, wasn't he? Captain here at Canterbury with you.
He was, yes. Great co-captain. Great leader good detail in his communication.
Oh, and who's it? Reaches out. Cullen Grace, I think, the number 6, the big number 6 with the big left mitt. Reaches out. It is too. Comes up with the pull. Drummond, and he's only been on the pitch 30 seconds. Tokalahi with the crash up. He crashes up and places it back. Cullen Grace picks it up, says, I'll go through the middle. Hits the ground, reaches out. Try. That'll put Canterbury back out in front.
This last 20 minutes is going to be an interesting game of footy. It's been 2 changing of the leads in the last 10 minutes.
And we'll no doubt have a different kicker this time too. Brent Cameron's been the kicker in the first half. He's off now. Fergus Burke in at 5'8", I think, so he'll no doubt do the kicking. Did a good job for varsity. Been in and around the Crusaders camp a little bit this year too, isn't he?
Yep. Early on through pre-season and fitted in really well, actually. Good skill set, and obviously off with the 20s.
Can he add the extra 2? Waved away. So 19 plays 17. Canterbury now have the lead over Tasman. Cullen Grace, the try scorer. Got about 20 minutes left. Be interesting to see at this point, I suppose, when Canterbury starts to run out a bit of cavalry. What can Tasman do? What can they keep up? Can they match it? They've tried to speed the game up. With Finlay Christie at halfback, certainly signalled his intentions as soon as he come on. The Super Rugby experience. Canterbury with the exit play, what can they come up with? Drummond at halfback. Not out. Oh. And a wee drop here from Tasman. So Canterbury will get another opportunity to see a scrum. Anyway, that's it.
Last 2 scrums, Canterbury have gone really well. I suspect they may hold it in the back here.
Big high ball there too, looking straight up into the sun. So that's a tricky wee spot to get yourself under Tasman. But the knock on, hence Canterbury having the feed to the scrum. Yeah, I mean, they have been 2 good scrums, haven't they? And it's allowed the Canterbury backs to actually run a move off it and run a play.
Getting a nice afternoon glow here in Hanmer now. Beautiful sun.
A couple of good spots here in Hanmer to sit down for a raspberry and coke or an ale. If you're up in town, great spot. Ratuva. We've been looking for him to have some space all game. Canterbury come charging through their forwards. William Tucker. The headgear on in jersey 25. Drummond takes him one way, then he takes him the other.
Sam Gilbert getting into his work.
Good try from him early in the first half.
I think the no jersey there with the headgear is Caleb Peterhammer.
He's had some good carries there at number 8. Come on for Luke Whitelock. Canterbury working the short side and they spill it. Tasman now have the pill. 15 minutes remaining. What can they do? They're inside their own half. Will they run an exit play? No, they're going to run it.
We disconnect there.
Tokalahi with a big shot on there and the ball's gone. Here come Tasman.
Drummond on the ball. Did well to slow that down.
This allows us full pack to connect again on D. I'll come back to the blind side, come Tasman. They've got numbers there, but no way through the Canterbury line. And almost. Apiri Hanmer with another big tackle there, along with Tokalahi. And Tasman leave it behind. called it back. Referee James Munro. Just carry on. The other ones. One off the ruck, come Tasman. Christie wants it. Can he get his hands on it? Yes. Out through the backs. Come Tasman. Junior Ratuva comes flying in and makes the tackle. Slows it down. Tasman come to the left now, and they've
Great
got
offload.
And Brody McAllister with another tackle. He needs to roll out of there. It's time
over here.
Here come Canterbury. They spread it wide. Through the hands. Been looking for Junior Ratuva. Here comes Punavai and a nice offload. Here he goes. He's got some wheels and a little chip kick that just comes off the chest of the Tasman player. Been waiting 65 minutes for that. My word, I've seen him do it a couple of times in club rugby this year, and my word, it's a sight to watch. So,
see some of the lungs are starting to heave now on the field.
Nani Punavai there with a wee goose step, takes it into contact. A wee dummy.
Dummy cut.
Draws in
offload.
Two. Nice play there from Punavai. Giving a bit of room. Just unfortunately can't quite make that kick. Now the 2 feet. Might have been right. So you've been training, you've been doing lots of running, and in your break you obviously had a bit of a good celebration for a week or so and a bit of time with the family.
Yeah, I actually went off with the Māori All Blacks and just got back midweek. Have gone in on Wednesday. It's our first day all together.
Lester Whainganuku with the crash up on the left-hand side, and here go Tasman as they work it back out to the right. Canterbury, strong defence so far with the wee goose step.
Both teams wanting to run from everywhere on the pitch.
Finlay Christie gets his mitts on the ball and he takes it and he'll put his foot to it. Hoofs it downfield.
I think that's the first long kick I've seen in the second half.
Fergus Berg, he'll respond. He says, oh well, you can have it back again.
They want to play rugby in Tasman Mako half.
Says, and that's sun actually too. That's a perfect opportunity for someone like Fergus to. I'm surprised actually we haven't seen the odd up and under.
Yeah.
Great bit of sun. Tasman now steering straight into it.
Actually, with a little bit of the gradient on the field, putting the ball on the ground as well, getting it to roll.
We change over there. Tuli Pyatt coming back on for Tasman. Will be Tim O'Malley coming off. We change to the back line. Tasman with the line out throw. O'Malley gets a wee clap as he makes his way to the bench. .25, that's William Tucker with the ball, and it's been towed through by Tasman, and here they come. Sammy Gilbert trying to clean up for Canterbury. He's back there. Here come the cavalry. Tasman have it.
They've punished Canterbury with these turnover plays.
Lester Whainganuku, what? Oh, Kit stays in. Thought he might have gone low there with a bit of dive, but he was just slightly too far out. And here come the forwards. Great defence from Canterbury. Pushing Tasman back slightly. Christie with a wee pop pass. They're making their way towards the sticks. Tasman still with the ball. Can they regain the lead and make Canterbury pay? Christie says, I don't want it. So it's obvious that it's going to be, forwards are going to be dragged into it. Play that 1-2 off. Here we go. Pick and go. Pick and go. Here come Tasman. Christie still standing a couple of yards away from the ruck, so the backs aren't interested in it. Pick and go. Just in line with the left hand upright.
Organising, getting into their work.
Have we got a turnover? Penalty. Who's that? Tokalahi. Brodie McAllister and Tokalahi there with the pats on the back.
Big moment there, actually. 2 points in the game, 10 minutes to go. And Canterbury given an opportunity to get out of their half.
We end up with a clock stop there for a little bit while we take a wee breather. Brodie McAllister, a wee roll to his neck. He's done a good job since he's come on, hasn't he?
Yeah, and obviously with the scrum, seen quick effect in the second half, getting a couple of not quite pushovers, but a good shift in the scrum.
Beautiful day here at the Hanmer Domain. 15, maybe 16 degrees at a push, but it's good. It's a two-layer kind of day, isn't it? Have a jacket on. Beautiful up here. Bit of snow around as we drove up this morning. I'm looking up towards the Lewis Pass, a bit of snow around, but Canterbury worked their way out of, I'm going to say out of their own 22, but just inside their own 22. McAllister with the line-out throw for Canterbury. 19 points, plays 17.
Both teams been running out of their own half, so I am guessing Canterbury will look to play.
Alperi Hanmer with the crash up there. He makes it about 7 or 8 metres outside of his own 22.
Good carry from Ngani Punivai.
My word,
Still
he's got
going.
a great carry on him.
It's all in the footwork. Leg drive.
Almost makes it to the halfway. Drummond with the wee pop to McAllister. McAllister makes it over halfway, and here comes Drummond with the foot on it. Whanganuka sent back again. He calls for the mark. James Munro just reminds him where the mark is. He's waiting for his Marco's players to get behind him. And Drummond
covers.
Fires it back inside to Burke. They go way left. No halfback, waiting for the halfback. McAllister goes in and plays halfback. Here comes Drummond. Burke at first receiver.
Bit of space on the edge here.
It's Christie hanging out wide, waiting for something to happen. Tokalahi just outside the Tasman 20. Here comes Drummond, spies a gap, down through the gap. We offload. Christie with the tackle then. Canterbury still have it, do they? Drummond goes in to try and dig it out. Here it comes for Canterbury again.
Drummond controlling the game.
Burke and
Patience.
Here comes Burke and a wee offload. Easy pass. Jersey 19. I don't think it is Caleb Alperi Hanmer. It's on my notes, but we'll bring you that try scorer soon. Fergus Burke will step up with the chance. But it all sort of started with Mitchell Drummond spying a wee gap just on the 22. He went to the right, through the wee gap, popped it up. 3 phases back again, out to Tokalahi. And they just edged their way through as Fergus Burke adds the extra 2. Canterbury now stretch their lead. That's probably almost the biggest lead of the game now. It'll take them to 26 points to 17.
Suspect Tasman would kick to get the ball back here. Kick short. 5 minutes to go.
Big
Gone
kick.
deep.
Mitchell Drummond under it. Says I'll have it and then I'll hoof it out of here. Interesting, isn't it? A couple of times since Mitch Drummond's come on, I think we've seen more kicking than we probably had in the first almost 60 minutes. But as everyone gets a bit tired legs, he wants to take heed of the opportunities that are on offer and not run the gas out of the boys too much.
Yep, that's a sign of a good 9 and a good 10. Good insights as to judge how the forward pack's feeling.
Tasman go up and it's been lost. It's been knocked forward. Canterbury have the ball. It's at the back now for Drummond, and Drummond says to Cullen Grace, you get out of it, we're going to run it up. Here's the try scorer.
Try scorer, another great carry.
Oh, Purnavai gets up high and takes that, and it's clobbered at the same time, and here comes another one from Drummond. Oh, and just takes the pressure off Canterbury. Shows all of that experience, doesn't he? He says, we ain't playing rugby in our own half. Not certainly while they were behind, I think, when Drummond come on. They've taken the lead, and now Canterbury just starting to cement themselves a little bit in this last 10 minutes, really. Tasman have played extremely well, though.
There's a forward pack. Seeing the result of that kick, it's like Christmas time.
Tasman with the line out thrust. Just over 3 minutes remaining. Oh, and Grace can't get up for it. Tasman win the line out throw at the back. Christie with the exit play, and it doesn't go out. Purnavai down that left wing touchline again. Here comes Canterbury, try score. Mitch Drummond goes back blind. Purnavai flicks it out to Junior Ratuva. It's gone forward. Look at that, the numbers around him. Tom Christie hanging on his right shoulder. So too Sammy Gilbert. He scored a try in that first half, and not a bad try off that early kick from Brett Cameron. You think they've been playing that out at Lincoln a few times this year?
Oh yeah, you see that a little bit around now. Most teams giving it a go. Made famous, I think, by Bowden Barrett.
Well, what a beautiful day it's been here at Hanmer Domain. The first of our pre-season games. Canterbury Rugby taking on Tasman. We get to play Tasman at, which is now Orange Theory Stadium, in a couple of weeks. I think the second or third game at home. Make sure you get your tickets. Jump online to the Canterbury Rugby Football Union website. Grab your tickets. Become a member. Big scrum from Canterbury. Huge tight head. Drummond flicks it back out to Burke. What?
Cut out. Skip pass.
Dallas McLeod. What can he?
A bit of space.
Out to Gilbert. Back inside. Here comes Purnavai. Back inside again to guess who? I think I've seen him run that line about a dozen times this year for the Crusaders and pick up tries. And he does it here in a pre-season game for Canterbury. Exactly the same.
What a difference he's made since he's come on.
Interesting enough, Eddie Inari run that same line to pick up the first try. Mitchell Drummond runs the same and may well be the last in this game for Canterbury, but great experience. Johnny on the spot, or Mitch on the spot as they might say in this instance. Kind of from nothing really. I mean, it was a set up by the forwards over the other side. We had a great scrum.
Quick turnover, skip pass to Dallas McLeod.
Here we go, come back in. Sam Gilbert flicks it back inside to Purnavai. Purnavai crashes up and a wee inside pass to none other than Mitchell Drummond, and who's on his left, the open side?
Tom
Christie. And converted. $33 points to 17, and I guess in a way it probably doesn't do Tasman justice to scoreline at the moment, but what it does show is the experience that Canterbury's been able to bring on in that last 20 odd minutes, especially with the likes of Mitch Drummond, and change the game up. He's played the game out of Tom Christie with the take there, but Drummond not interested in playing rugby inside Canterbury's own 22, certainly not even in their own half. Fitu.
Usually you try to close the game out at this point, but I think they'll probably try and play, being ahead by a fair amount.
Punavai with a miss there. Junior Ratuva with the ball inside their own 20. Caleb Apirihama, he'll take it back up again and try and set up the ruck as Canterbury look for the exit play. They just want to work it away from their own sideline a little bit. Been held up by Tasman. Great defence by Tasman. Been ripped away. Tasman with the ball. Finlay Christie demanding it. Here come the Tasman forwards.
One last opportunity for them to get over the line.
A wee goose step there from the fullback. Michael Stringer as they play away to the right. Time up on the clock. Back inside. Christie has to hit the ruck, and it's an advantage to Tasman. Referee James Munro has the arm out. Time up on the clock. Tasman will keep going. Finlay Christie knows he's got the advantage. Oh, what's happened here? I don't think we've got a video ref to go to at. He's going to have James Munro is going to have a yarn to his touch judge, see if anybody else saw something. We've got a replay. Let's have a look. What do you think of this, Fitu?
Yeah, something needed to be done. He's decided to have a go. Here we go. We're having a look. They've given the try. Here's the replay.
Oh, what a try. What a play. Finlay Christie.
Halfbacks making an impact.
And that's the end of the game. Converted there at the end. 33 plays 22. Canterbury with a relatively good one. You'd have to say the coaches there, Fitu, would be pretty happy with today's outing. Off to a reasonable start. Things tightened up a little in the middle, certainly when Tasman come back out in that second half, but a pretty good finish from Canterbury there to bring up those 33 points, and Mitch Drummond certainly a big cause for Canterbury's win.
Yeah, outstanding from Drummo, and I think we can be happy with set piece, especially the scrum there in the second half, and both teams on at line out time. And it's quite a physical game.
Interesting, you're taking nothing away from Tasman at all. When you look at their side, we talked about it, they don't have a number of their Super Rugby players. They come back this week, they're Māori All Blacks, so they're certainly going to be a great team. Possibly again a top 4 or finalist again. They've got a bit of depth when you look at them like that.
Yeah, still loading, still building both sides, and it's going to be a different match come round 3 down in Christchurch.
Yeah, you get Will Jordan and a couple of their other guys to come back, no doubt. Well, you got a few citizens, Mitchell Hunt, yeah. 33 points to 24 in the end, the conversion going over for Tasman, so 33 points to 24. A great game here at Hanmer Domain. Canterbury taking the win, Tasman turning up, and a fantastic opposition they were. Great to have Josh Mackay and Fitu Douglas in commentary with us here at Hanmer Domain today. Thank you very, very much for joining in. Pleasure having your company. Good luck for the season, and we look forward to catching up.